our next question, I'm gonna have to maybe give a bit of background knowledge for this. So, looking through the Quran, it says that God created three types of entities. So, humanity, angels, and then jinn. And then jinn, it's like very similar to the pagan entities of the pre-Islamic Arabs. So our
hmm
question was, what are these jinn and why do they exist? And is it a remnant of pre-Islamic times?
Yeah, so basically with Islam, there was yeah, you mentioned there's three types of beings. Jinn are essentially like spirits, but they're made of energy, so we can't physically see them. Like if you people know about like different wavelengths of visible light, so jinn exists on like a different spectrum that we can't physically see. They can enter our world, and as Muslims, we believe this is sort of what explains a lot of paranormal phenomenon. So people talk about like oh ghosts or whatever, like stuff just moving. We believe that jinn can interact with the regular world. Um, and they can take the form of human beings or other animals or anything like that. And as for like, yeah, the jinn were talked about in pre-Islamic Arabia, but jinn, like the concept of spirits or demons or whatever, it's a pretty universal human concept. It's not just pre-Islamic Arabia that had this concept. Like you go pretty much anywhere around the world in pre-modern society, it's even a lot of people today still believe in sort of spirits or ghosts or whatever. And this is sort of how we explain this from Islamic perspective. We believe that they do have free will, and that they were given sort of revelation and whatnot, and they're a creation of God. And what was I going to say? But yeah, not all the things that the pre-Islamic Arabs preached were wrong. It's like all the pre-Islamic Arabs, for example, they did believe in Allah. They did believe in that there was one creator God. They just worshipped idols as intermediaries to get closer to him. So that's how they sort of associated partners with him. So Islam basically clarified all the issues that were in their beliefs and whatnot. So like it does for everybody. So people might believe things that are correct, but they just might go too far on certain things. And so that's why God sends revelation to help us clarify and learn the truth.
And by jinn, you said like it can take the form of a humans or animals. By take the form, do you mean like the energy goes within them, or do you think like, I guess someone on this earth is born with that energy innately within them?
So no, it's a separate creation. So there's human beings like I can't become a jinn, like I can't like just disappear or whatever, or maybe I am one. But no,
Jinn on this pod, Jinn on episode 12.
yeah,
If I catch you,
your
will you grant
podcast
me
is
three
going crazy,
wishes?
bro. Anyway, the um though they can sort of appear like humans, and I don't know and all the specifics of what they can do, but they essentially look like humans, but but they're not like actually humans, and they move like super fast, so that because they're like energy, they can move like speed of light or whatever. And they're in the Quran, like Solomon, the Prophet Solomon, one of his powers was that he could control the jinn. So he moved like the jinn would like move. For example, there's a story that he moved like the throne of the Queen of Sheba from her palace to his palace like instantly, and so he used the power of the jinn to do that. And there are good jinn and there are evil jinn as well. So an example of an evil jinn would be the devil, Satan. We believe that he was a jinn that disobeyed God. He was righteous for a while, but then he disobeyed God, and we don't believe in this concept. Like I know Christians have this idea that he was like a fallen angel, but we don't have that concept because angels are physically incapable of disobeying God's
It's
commands. So
fallen.
if God tells an angel to do something, it will do it 100% of the time, and there are no exceptions to that rule.
Because by saying falling angel, it's almost like an oxymoron because an angel can't fall by definition.
Yeah, by definition.
Mhm.
Um,
I see.
So in Judaism, there's like a similar concept. They're called malachim, which translates to a messenger, and
Yeah.
the explanation for them is
Interesting.
effectively that they represent different forces. So say one is represents gravity or say ignition, so things like those, like just natural forces. Uh, could you say that's similar to what jinn or angels are in Islamic
I don't know,
religion?
100%. I mean, we believe that God endows natural laws in the universe that are like physical laws, and then there are metaphysical things. So Jinn would be an example of like a metaphysical being, or would it be? I don't know. Actually, I don't know like how you would classify that. but they're basically things that we can't physically see. And I don't know if they represent certain elements or whatnot. I don't think they do, but I don't know 100% for sure on that. But
Mhm.
that's interesting. I didn't realize that that was a concept in Judaism.
Yeah, there are actually like a
It's
lot
like
of
an
parallels that I've
interpretation,
seen.
yeah.
Yeah, and like
Interesting.
when we had spoken with Mukhtar, that's like episode 8 or 9. If you guys want to watch it again, um, but we had actually like we had asked him one of the questions, and he had like asked him which question he sees Islam most similar to, and he had said Judaism, and a lot of them were very similar in concept to Islam, like a lot of the concepts within Judaism, and even the parallels between like maybe distinctions within Islam, like Muhammad, were more just as we said like updates to Judaism that were just add-ons, but still like the pillars were pretty much consistent, which is really neat,
Yeah,
actually.
I'd say that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, yeah.